Hello. Education reform is a big fancy phrase that grown-ups use to talk about ways to make school even better. There are lots of ideas about how to do this, but one of the most popular is to make sure that every kid gets the same opportunities to learn, no matter where they live or how much money their family has. Right now, some kids go to really great schools with lots of cool toys and books and computers, while other kids go to schools that don't have those things. That's not fair, so education reform is trying to change that. One way to do this is to give schools more money, so they can buy all the things they need to teach you and your friends. That means more books, more pencils, more markers, and more crayons. And who doesn't love a fresh pack of crayons? Another idea is to make sure that teachers are really good at teaching. That means they know how to help you learn, they're kind and patient, and they know how to make learning fun. Imagine having a teacher who makes learning as fun as playing with your favorite toy. Education reform is also trying to make sure that schools teach you all the things you need to know to be successful in life. You'll learn about math, science, reading, and writing, but you'll also learn about other important things, like how to be kind to your friends, how to share, and how to solve problems. Another thing that education reform wants to do is make sure that kids who don't speak English as their first language get the help they need to learn. If you're learning English, your teacher will help you understand everything so you can learn just like all the other kids. Sometimes, schools can be a little bit boring, so education reform wants to make sure that schools are as fun and exciting as possible. That means that you might get to go on field trips to cool places, have parties to celebrate your hard work, and even get to play games that help you learn. Another way that education reform is trying to make school better is by giving kids more choices. That means you might get to choose what you want to learn about, or what kinds of projects you want to work on. Imagine getting to learn about something you're really interested in, like dinosaurs or space. Sometimes, schools can be really strict, with lots of rules and punishments. Education reform wants to change that, and make sure that schools are more welcoming and friendly. You'll feel safe and happy at school, and you won't be scared to make mistakes. Education reform also wants to make sure that kids get to be creative and express themselves. You might get to draw pictures, make videos, or write stories, and your teacher will encourage you to be as creative as possible. One really important part of education reform is making sure that kids can learn no matter where they are. If you're sick or if there's a snow day, you'll still be able to learn from home. And if you move to a new school, you'll be able to keep learning just like you were at your old school. Sometimes, school can be really hard, and you might feel like giving up. Education reform wants to make sure that you always feel supported, and that you never feel like you're alone. Your teacher and your friends will always be there to help you, no matter what. Another idea in education reform is to make sure that kids get to learn about different cultures and ways of life. You'll get to learn about different countries, languages, and traditions, and you'll get to celebrate all the things that make us different and special. Finally, education reform is trying to make sure that school is a place where everyone is treated fairly and with respect. That means that no matter what you look like, where you come from, or what you believe in, you will always be treated like a valuable and important member of your school community. One way that schools are trying to do this is by having special days where everyone wears the same thing, like a school shirt or a special color. This helps everyone feel like they're part of the same team. Education reform is also trying to make sure that kids get enough time to play and have fun. That's because playing is one of the best ways to learn. When you play, you learn how to work with others, solve problems, and use your imagination. Another idea in education reform is to make sure that kids have access to technology. That means you might get to use computers, tablets, or other gadgets to help you learn. Technology can be really fun and exciting, and it can help you learn things in new and interesting ways. Finally, education reform is trying to make sure that kids get to learn about things that are happening in the world right now. That means you might learn about things like climate change, politics, or social issues. You'll get to think about these things and come up with your own ideas about how to make the world a better place. To summarize, education reform is all about making sure that you and your friends have the best possible school experience. That means learning new things, making friends, having fun, and feeling safe and supported. It's all about making sure that you have everything you need to be the best you can be.